So I wanted to talk a little bit about some prevailing themes of technique and muscle usage in my book, The Regimen. I think a lot of these exercises I've put in, I grew up with, and many of us grew up with, based on single strokes and double stroke rolls and triple grids and duple grids and flam patterns. But what I hoped to achieve in this, with these little, include these little practice tip boxes at the bottom of every exercise, is it's really difficult to teach technique through a method book. It's easy to put a bunch of exercises that can improve your technique, but unless you're sitting there with the student, watching their hands and helping them, I always find, we can always train ourselves incorrectly and come up with some bad habits. So I wanted to try, using a lot of years of teaching experience and watching these things get learned, I wanted to try and warn against things that we all fall into, traps that we all fall into. So with that in mind, I wanted to talk a little bit about muscle groups and how we can avoid tension, which is always a theme of mine in playing, so we can remain relaxed as we play faster, we play more difficult things. So just going back to our simplest, earliest exercises, we have 8s, 8, 8, 16, something like that. So we want to just be relaxing the wrist, but it's not 100% wrist, it's not 100% fingers, and it's not 100% arms. So as I'm playing slower, I'm probably looser in the arm, especially in a louder dynamic. And as I get faster, I'm probably, hopefully, transferring more of that energy into the wrist and fingers. Until at my fastest, I'm really focused on my smallest muscle groups and trying to keep the stick moving with my twitchier muscles. Now this also applies to things like duple or triple grids, where I'm including accents. And this kind of borders on some Moeller ideas, but I don't get too deep into Moeller in the book. But I think that there are a lot of really useful things with this and helping us be relaxed and play at really fast tempo. So for a normal triple grid, the first time I see it, a lot of times people will be quite forceful with it, and it might look like this. But I think even from our slowest tempo, which we don't need any arm, we want to start training that. So for my slowest tempo, I'm still giving a little lift for the accents. And that's all with my end goal in mind, which is, as fast as I can play it. And then for that tempo, I'm still relaxed because my arm is really just helping with the accent. So that's one theme that carries on in all sorts of exercises in the regimen. We get into our flamming. I actually have some miniature invert patterns. And if we're, again, just focused on wrist and finger and not thinking of this relaxed arm motion, I'm really going to be overworking these small muscles. Whereas I can just kind of try to develop this shuffle. And as a result, I'm going to remain relaxed and I'm going to be able to play considerably faster. So that's just one theme that I try to carry through the book. I also get really in depth with this idea of shifting our fulcrum around for the various challenges we need in snare drumming. So check out The Regimen and happy practicing.